Dear trans people.
It literally has instructions. This thing does not go up inside you. Like, where does that go?
So this question of, do trans women have an advantage over cis women? We don't know.
Hi friends, welcome to Queer Kid Stuff.
Day one of being a girl, and I have already cried 3 times. I wrote a scathing email that I did not send. I ordered dresses online that I couldn't afford. And then when someone asked me how I was, I said, I'm fine.
Doing research into this, I found that you don't like to be misgendered.
Let me explain why misgendering is an act of violence.
So I was misgendered at school today.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Ooh, let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. This is serious.
But I also found that some of you guys want us to misgender you.
Da! Okay? Da! You stupid fuck!
You find it amusing when we can't seem to get it right. Things that we're told that we need to do in order to be a morally correct person. A lot of people are just trying to understand, not have any problems in their lives. But doing that, it just seems like you guys want to cause problems.
Like he's having a nice piece.
She, her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
Okay. Sweetwater starts at, okay. Not.
You didn't say the magic word.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. Thank you. Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. I feel like I need to tell him.
Thank you. I'm not sir.
It is ma'am.
But the guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row.
You want there to be a problem, so you make one. I feel like that's what your whole ideology kind of turned into. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and now we have people that don't even identify as a gender.
Have you ever wondered what neopronouns are? So neopronouns are, well, let's be honest, a very cool way to describe one's gender.
You serious?
Hello, my beautiful friends. It's the lesbian Snow White here, aka the pronoun gal. And today I'm going to show you how to use rats pronouns in sentences, pups pronouns and starburst pronouns, how to use candles pronouns in sentences, normal pronouns in sentences. And no, of course, I'm not joking. These are neopronouns.
I mean, it's so hard to keep up with these things. And then they even wanted to make it illegal to misgender someone.
Bill C-16, which, by the way, the Senate just passed. Right? Half the conservatives voted for it, despite the fact that the Justice Minister was presented with an amendment that clearly indicated that Bill C-16 would not infringe upon free speech and refused to consider the amendment. So that's where we are.
You say that gay people and trans people need more representation, but I just don't honestly see how. You're represented everywhere I look. You have the whole month to be represented in June. You have pride parades. There's transgender actors out there. And there's even some transgender people in kids media.
Well, my heart says that the way I feel most myself is to go by the name Fred. That's because I'm non-binary, and Fred is the name that fits me best.
Hi, I'm Faye. Hello, I'm Fluffy, and we're on a mission to be fabulous.
But yet you guys need more representation? Where? It just feels like I can't get away with the trans stuff. Every time I try to go shopping, trans this, buy trans flag that.
They're now selling swimsuits with tuckums in the women's section of the store. And they even have a line just for kids.
We're at Target right now, and there's a lot of controversy going on about all of the pride stuff that's coming out with kids' clothes. This is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have Glad You Came Out, and I'm so happy that you're queer. in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. Tuck-friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids.
Oh, and it gets worse. Target hired a Satanist to put together their pride line. So if you go on the page, what you see are things like Satan loves you and respects who you are. He's a symbol of passion, pride, and liberty. Oh, and Satan respects pronouns.
Every time I turned on the TV, you know, there's always a gay person or a trans person.
Thank you, Papa, for meeting me.
It just feels like they're shoving it down our faces, telling us to enjoy this disgusting crap of a meal. And when I don't like it and I tell them what they're feeding me is crap, they say that I'm the bad guy, I'm not all accepting. But they don't even give me a second to breathe and take in the fact that they're feeding me this crap. You expect everyone to support you. You expect everyone to agree with you and think that you're amazing and happy and beautiful with the person that you are, because you're trans. You piggyback off of the feminist movement. And you tell ladies that if you're not for all women, you're not a true feminist.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're claiming to be a feminist and you're not including trans women in your ideology of feminism, you're not a feminist.
Feminist is someone who believes in the power of a woman the same way they believe in the power of anyone else. And I definitely would consider myself a feminist, but I would consider myself an intersectional feminist, meaning you can't pick and choose which kind of women or types of women or from which backgrounds you choose to support. If you're going to choose to support women, you have to. That includes all women. So I think it's important to keep that in mind when you choose to call yourself a feminist, you know? Yeah. You have to look out for everyone.
Tell real women if they're not okay with you in their sports, in their bathrooms, locker rooms, or any other women-like spaces, that they're not a true feminist because you're a woman. You quite literally make fun of the thing that you're modeled after. Tell us that we're less than you even though you're modeled after us.
We have the designer, expensive, bougie coochie. You're telling me if someone says, would you like this free paper bag that came with my groceries, or would you like this $35,000 bag? You're taking the designer Birkin, babe. Seriously, you're just mad because trans girls don't want to put trash like you in our designer bags.
To be quite honest, it just feels like you're a bit jealous of us. It just feels like they want to compete with real women.
She's sultry, she's sexy, and you were born anatomically male. She's transsexual.
But again, piggybacking off of feminist movement, beating down women, making fun of women, feeling that we're a threat to you even though the types of men that me and you both would pull are completely different. One would be straight and the other would be gay. No offense. You still expect us to support you and let you into all of our spaces. Like our prisons. Yeah, shocker, right? We allow trans people, trans women who are biological men, who are born man, and who is as strong as a man, no matter how much estrogen this person takes, into our sports, into our prisons, and they don't even have to get the surgery.
Adam Graham was a predator who abused vulnerable women. This is the same person a transition made after they were arrested. They were initially sent to Scotland's only all-female jail.
2 female inmates at a supposedly all-women's prison have just become pregnant. You wonder how that happened.
I worked behind the scenes so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to surgery.
Yeah, and if you think that that's crazy, it gets even worse. That man right there basically said, no, I don't want to go to prison. I'm female. Send me to female prison. Again, these things are being abused and they're just allowing it in the name of what? Acceptance? You have trans people trying to compete in women with their beauty, like this trans woman who went into Miss Universe. In my opinion, some people agree with this, but I think it's wrong. I don't think that trans people should be in beauty pageants with other women. There should be a subcategory for trans people. Women should have their own thing, men should have their own thing, and if trans people don't want to compete with men, then they can compete with one another in their own category. Or how about Leah Thomas, who took the chance of this woman getting her trophy?
We go behind the awards podium after our race, and the NCAA official looks at both Thomas and myself and says, great job.
You guys tied. We don't really account for ties in terms of trophies. We only have one, so that trophy goes to Leah.
She was obviously greatly upset, but that doesn't matter to anyone else because Leah Thomas is transgender, and as long as you are a man identifying as a woman, men's rights still matter more. These are the same people that will tell women that they are put down because of the patriarchy and that men are evil and all bad. And then these men will turn around, put on a dress, put on some makeup and a wig, and say, actually, I'm a bigger victim than you because I like to wear girl clothes. And if you don't think that men being in our prisons and in our sports is a bad thing, how about this one guy that literally bashed open a woman's skull?
Those end reversals by both fighters.
These girls are getting right into it. Fox to the knees, and that's it. Fallon.
And if that's not evidence enough that trans people being in women's spaces is not good, I don't know what else is. But yet we still let trans people walk into our bathrooms when our daughters are using the restrooms.
I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make.
I had a neighbor confront me for using the women's restroom. I lived here for 4.5 years. Everyone should know that I'm a trans woman. And I'm like, is there a problem? She's like, yeah, you're using the women's restroom. You're a man. And I said, I'm a trans woman. She's like, no, you're a man. And honestly, I just lost it. And just started screaming and swearing. I just couldn't handle it.
Go into her sports and all these other things. Well, up until Donald Trump took care of it all. Thank you, Donald Trump. And the last thing I would like to touch up on is the kids.
Hey kids, I want to talk to the kids.
Stop encouraging kids to chat with you privately on your Patreon and not tell their parents, you creep.
For some reason, trans people like to just keep going for the kids. They can't get away from the kids. They can't get enough of the kids.
You have a whole community to back you up. From gay to pansexual, cis to non-binary, no matter how you identify, there is a wide spectrum of people that understand what you're going through.
Queer kid stuff. And rainbow story time. Hi friends, welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Linz. And I'm Teddy. Teddy, today I want to talk to you about something that can be kind of hard for trans people like me. And it can be a little scary sometimes. Scary? Oh no, Linz. Like a monster? Actually, yeah, Teddy, it can kind of be like a monster.
A lot of trans people will say that this is a very hurtful stereotype, but it's a stereotype that is well deserved on that community because, well, look at their behavior. From doing trans pride parades with drag queen, basically strippers, but can't say that because it's for kids, and because it's for kids, that's not actually what it is, even though it's exactly what they're doing, and it's the same type of behavior, clothing, and etc.
This is the Drag the Kids to Pride event at Mr. Mister's in Dallas's Oaklawn neighborhood. Organizers promoted it as a family-friendly drag show where kids danced with the performers.
Putting this type of stuff in our kids' books, in schools, it's at home, on their TVs.
Oh, Mom and Mommy, or Daddy and Dad, they make parents too. We are just like rainbows.
So of course, they're going to start identifying as trans. They keep pulling these kids into this ideology. Now we have a bunch of kids who transitions in their school. There's groups of friends who are trans when it would only be maybe one kid per school. It's now maybe 2 or 3 kids per classroom.
What was once 1 or 2 underage transition stories in tiny liberal European countries became friend groups of teenage girls in every American city transitioning together.
Not to mention the fact that you don't actually even need to be put on hormones or the surgery or even be diagnosed as trans to be trans. You can simply just say that you're non-binary, go by they, them, or pick yourself out a new nice pretty little set of pronouns, and boom bam, you're trans. So everybody can be trans. It just really depends on how much money you have to go all the way with it. And of course, because it's the great new hip thing to do, all these kids want to be trans, especially because it's everyone's new way of getting attention, like when last generation's new way of getting attention was being gay. This way is the Gen Z way, being trans. So why is this bad? Why do I think that this is terrible to go after the kids? It's bad simply because they're children. They're being put through this very perverted system to make them all Democratic voters. Now, I know a lot of people would say allegedly and that this is a conspiracy theory, but I am just going to say with my chest that it is not. These trans kids are literally being funneled and farmed into Democrat voters instead of having their own mindset. Because, again, this is what Democrats have done all of the time. They constantly use another type of minority to get their votes, like black people, Mexican people, and now trans people. They're going to constantly do this until they get what it is that they want, and that is full control. And I'm not talking about Democrats, the everyday voter. No. I'm talking about Democrats, the people behind the scenes, the shadow men, if you will. But that's on the conspiracy side. For right now, we're all just gonna say that everyone is mentally not doing well, and, well, COVID pushed this upon us. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and this little bit dose of baseness, please follow me for my next video. I have tons more to say. I would like to see you again in the next video, and I hope you have a lovely day.